Make this video yesterday live while I was at the not the Orlando, the Viera VA, the VA clinic, and I was broadcasting. I thought it streamed, but then I guess it deleted it because I cut off shortly after broadcast. I had my my annual appointment with my doctor, except I had a new doctor. The VA, they constantly change doctors. But anyhow, prior to that, I had to do like a blood test. You know how they do the blood and urine analysis and stuff, because just to check out your overall health. I guess your blood and urine can tell how healthy you are. So I had to do a blood test, urine test, and I don't know if you guys recall, I was, they had determined that I was diabetic. That was about a year ago, maybe a little bit less than a year ago. They had my A1C level was 12, which is off the charts. So that was during the time when COVID first hit, and there was a lot of personal stuff going on that was keeping me kind of depressed also. And I had turned to Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew, don't do what I did. Don't do what I did with the Dew. I was drinking 5 to 7 cans of Mountain Dew every day. That's enough to make you diabetic, by the way, because it did. It turned me into diabetic. My blood sugar was off the charts. A1C was 12. Anyhow, I went to the new doctor, and he said, whatever I'm doing seems to be working. I'm doing good. A1C level is at 6, which is borderline pre-diabetic. So I'm almost back to normal, except for one thing: I'm fat. Because my cholesterol is pretty high. I know why that is. I've been eating you guys heard me. I've been increasing the rice intake, and I think I went a little crazy, went a little bit overboard. So I started eating pretty much the same amount of rice I always ate my whole life, which is if you have a large plate, think about a large 12-inch plate and make a mountain of rice on it. That's how much rice I normally have. So, and I'd eat 1 or 2 of those plates per meal, full of rice, white rice. So I'm definitely going to have to diet. I had diet before, and it got my numbers down really fast, really low, and that was by eating more greens. And I missed my, so I was eating a lot of rice and a lot of asado, which is barbecue, Argentinian barbecue. That's what happens when you're married to an Argentine. So anyhow, and then you saw me going crazy over the bacon that I found. I was I'm drawn to greasy, fat food. So anyhow, I gotta lose some weight. Last weigh-in at the doctor's, I was 208, but I think you could probably subtract about 4 or 5 pounds from my keys and phone and other stuff that was on me. So probably about 204, 205 real weight, I think, which is still higher than I want to be. My goal had been to get down to 195. So I'm still stuck in that last 10 pounds. And part of it is because inside the house, and I made out all by myself, plus all that furniture, I was lifting it and the work. And over the course of that 3 or 4 days, I did all that work pretty much by myself. My feet started hurting. And it turned out I had developed a disease where your heels, there's a muscle, there's flesh that goes across your feet, the bottom of your feet, over your heel. I think it's called something fasciitis, something. I forget the name, something fasciitis. But it's an actual disease where you're basically hurt because it's sore and you get bone spurs, so you can't walk. But I've been living like that for the past 6-7 months. I'd gone to the doctor initially, when I had my last semi-annual, and basically, we were just going to try having me massage my feet a little bit, stretch exercise, but I haven't really been doing any of that. So it didn't get any better because I had to work every day. Not every day, but still going to work. And, as a janitor, I do a lot of walking and lifting stuff. I carry my little bucket everywhere I go. I have this little bucket of cleaners and other stuff that I use. Paper towels, scrubbers. So, and then I climb a lot of stairs at my job. So, my feet never healed. But anyhow, the new doctor's pretty cool. They were going over my medication, and I was supposed to be taking like cholesterol medication and some other stuff to help with the diabetes. But I told them I wasn't taking a little cone. So maybe about twice a month I have ice cream, And I've been eating some sweets and just pretty much eating anything I want. But I still have lunch every day, brunch basically. I have 2 bowls of salad with chicken. But now occasionally I throw in like burritos and, the chicken with the French fries. That's not exactly healthy, but I've been just, you can only eat salad twice a day every day for so long. But as far as trying to get my feet under control, so he says, I guess, I don't know if PT's going to contact me, or if what he gave me was for PT that I'm supposed to do myself. But he gave me some bicycle pedals, the kind that sit on the floor. So I'm going to start, because I told him I used to walk. Remember when this whole thing started with the diabetes? I used to go walking by the lake and on the bridge. But I haven't been doing that lately because of COVID and also because of being full-time now. And, it's like winter, even in Florida, even though it's like right now it's 2 degrees outside in Florida. It's 82 outside right now in Florida. But I had to go out because by the time I get home from work, it's nearly dark. You only get a couple hours before it gets dark, and I don't feel like going out, driving somewhere and wasting gas because gas price is so high. But anyhow, he gave me the little pedals that you can do from sitting down somewhere. So I'm going to be doing it while I'm on the computer, maybe, playing a game or something. Or watching a movie, So I'll be riding a little bike. Well, it's not even a bike, it's just pedals. It's just pedals on a mount. And then the other thing they gave me was compression socks. I don't know how that helps you, but they're really, really tight. I'm wearing them right now. And he also gave me this gel. If you're interested, maybe I'll do another video and show you what it is, the brand and stuff. But it's this gel that you rub onto your feet. So it's kind of like a cream. And you rub it on there. You're supposed to do it 4 times a day, but I don't know how I'm going to do it 4 times a day. But I can do it. I do it in the morning when I get up. I'm going to do it right when I get home. And I'm going to do it right before I go to bed. So those are going to be my 3 times, and I'll do it again when I get up. Because I'm not going to stop in with a day working and then rub my feet with gel. But I'll rub it and see if that cures it, because I want this to go away so I can walk like normal, I've been walking on, it feels like I'm getting stabbed every time I walk. But you get to the point where you get used to it, But if you asked me to run, I'd have a hard time running right now, because when you run, you put a lot of pressure on your heel. When you land. So basically what happens is like it hurts almost like when you wake up in the morning, right when you get out of bed. It feels almost like someone has a knife inside your feet and it's poking down at your skin as you're stepping on it. So it's like on the inside poking down at your flesh. That's what it feels like. And then it hurts all day long. But once I put my shoes on, it doesn't hurt so bad. I can still feel it, but it's not like, they were asking what level of pain was. I was like, it was a 9 or 10 in the morning. But during the day, it's like a 5. maybe a 6. So it's kind of hard to walk, but I do it. And I know some of you are mentioning wearing inserts for the shoes. I think he might be ordering me some of those. But I'm also going to look at getting those shoes he was talking about. It's this weird off-brand, but he says they're really good. He said he put them on, and a couple weeks later, or a month later, the pain was gone. It wasn't hurting anymore. The disease, or whatever it is, was gone. It's healed. So I'm going to try everything. I'm going to put the stuff on and see what happens with that. But otherwise, I'm doing pretty good. As far as the house, oh man, almost a crash up in front of me here. As far as the house is concerned, I did finish putting up the framing for the wall, on that side by the kitchen. And then I was looking at all the wiring, and there was wiring that went up to that fan, the fan that didn't work in the wall. I assumed, probably incorrectly, that the fan was dead and that the wiring was bad. I mean, the wiring was fine. But it was, I cut everything up, and I took that, I took the fan out. I managed to unscrew the fan and take it out. And I took the wire, and it was hooked up to another outlet. I should have tested it, but I didn't think ahead. My assumption was that it was working, because I thought I tested that outlet before. So I had bought a new light that I mounted outside the house. I took off the old light, which was meant for a ceiling light, but they put it up for a wall light, a porch light. But I bought an actual porch light, and I wired it up, and I hooked it up to the old, the wire that I had cut, that ran to the outlet and then onwards to the wall fan, assuming that everything was working. But then I also was used for the car to control the inverter cooking system. I took that switch, which is the 120 volt switch, and just mounted that to one of the beams in the wall, and was going to use it to turn the light on and off. So I didn't know exactly which circuit breaker controlled what. So I turned off all the circuits in the whole house. And then I went and I hooked it all up and turned everything on, and the light doesn't work, even when I switch it on. So at this point right now, and it got dark, you do it after work, but it's dark after you work for a couple. It's dead. If that power line is dead, I'm not going to try to track it. I'm just going to cap it off. But then I have to find another power source for the outside light. Before, what it was, I had the outside light, but it had a electrical outlet cable, the kind that you plug into 120 volt. And I ran the line through the fan hole, where that wall fan was, and then plugged into an outlet in the kitchen. And then, to turn it on and off, I just unscrewed the light bulb every day. But I figured it'd be better to have dusk to dawn light sensor thingies. That way the house light can come on by itself and go off by itself. I'm trying to make the house kind of semi-automated. And then that way I don't have to deal with it. It's always there. It's going to come on when it's supposed to. It's going to go off when it's supposed to. So that'll be my goal. Probably tomorrow to try to finish up. I got an errand I got to run today. But tomorrow I'm going to try to, maybe tonight I'll try to fix that light if I get home in time. But probably not. It'll probably be dark by the time I get home. But basically, I need to get that light working. Then once I get that light working, I can close that wall. When I close that wall, that kitchen wall, that means I can actually look at potentially finishing the inside of the house. I have to double check along the walls to make sure there are no more holes. There might be a couple of wall panels that I need to replace still. And then the house is mostly done, other than the leaky roof and the ceiling. So I got to go patch that. But my goal is to try to get it done within the next 2 or 3 weeks, maybe. Not done, but done enough that the floor can be laid, the walls are painted, the ceiling's painted, and furniture can come in. And then I can start trying to equip the kitchen, trying to figure out how to do it economically, but not have it look so bad. Oh, and I was thinking of, originally I was thinking of using propane gas instead of natural gas, which is, I was finding out the difference between propane gas and natural gas. So apparently they're not the same, okay? Propane gas is liquid, and then it becomes converted to gas right before you use it. So that, for camping and outdoor cooking and stuff, most people use propane, which is in the canister, but it's liquid. Natural gas is always in gas form. So they pipe that in from the city or whoever provides the natural gas company. They pipe that into your house, which the house has a natural gas pipeline that goes all the way up to the kitchen. But I don't think I want to turn that on. I don't like natural gas. I mean, I like it, but I'm afraid of it blowing up. And also the other problem with it is then you have to pay for another service. I'm already paying for water and I'm paying for electric. I don't want to pay for gas. So I thought of using propane, but then they were saying a regular stove for propane and for natural gas, they're not the same. The part where the flame, the gas comes out and the flame lights up, the hole sizes are different. If it's natural gas, it has a smaller hole, and if it's propane, it has a larger hole because of the way the gas works. Now, they have adapter kits, so you could get a natural gas stove and convert it to propane. I thought about doing that, but then, the more I thought about it, the more I thought, you know what? Why am I trying to put myself to the point where I have to buy something like propane? I mean, propane, a lot of people, propane or natural gas or butane, people swear by it because it's instant heat. You turn it on and it's hot. But then you have to buy it, unless you can make it yourself. But I don't see anyone making their own natural gas. Although you could do it, methane. But I don't think I want to get into making my own gas. So I thought about it, and I started looking into, I was like, well, what about cooktops? And, I have an electric one that I use right now, the 120 volts, the ones with the coils. But then I was reading up about induction cooking using electricity. And I had bought an induction burner, a dual induction burner from Walmart before, but I didn't like it because I didn't think it worked that well. But maybe it was just because it was that brand, or maybe the pan I was using on it didn't induce the electricity so well. The way an induction burner works, it doesn't really heat up itself. What it does is sends like electrical signals or magnetic signal up into the pot or the pan that you have sitting on it. And then the pot and the pan, the atoms in there get all excited and heat itself up. So the pan gets heated up, but the heating surface doesn't get hot. It's not heating itself, it's heating the pan directly. So I was looking into that, and they have induction cooktops and stuff like that, but some of them tend to be really expensive. The other thing I was wondering is if they work off 120 volts, because that's the whole point. I'm trying not to have to upgrade to 240. So I'm researching that, and I may get an induction cooking surface. And then I know I can get a cheap one, just walk in the store and get one with two, a 2-burner induction cooker, which I might do. Because then, we'll just make the kitchen countertops, other than where the sink is, and get in a surface, maybe not even a mounted one, but a surface induction cooker, and put that there. And then for emergencies, like during a hurricane or something, I could get I could get my butane stove. I can use my butane stove. And I also have, if I needed more burners, I have my electric burner. So the kitchen may not have a real stove and oven, which, you know, I have not used an oven in like forever. And when I was living in the van, I don't know if you guys remember, I was cooking stuff in the toaster oven. And I have an old toaster oven that I bought, you know, from Goodwill. And I still have the toaster ovens inside the RV. I even have a gas oven inside the RV, a propane oven, but I don't use that. But anyhow, I was like, well, I could cook stuff in, you know, if I need to bake something, I could bake something in a toaster oven. And then otherwise, I don't really bake too much. Most of the time I make, if I bake anything, it's, you know, ribs or something. But the toaster oven can cook plenty of ribs. And I could bake chicken in it. I don't know about a turkey. I think it might be a little too small for a turkey. But they have larger toaster ovens, so if I really wanted to, I could get a huge toaster oven. The issue will be, you know, I think it sits on a countertop. I guess you could mount it underneath the counter, but then I'm afraid of a fire hazard. So I'll probably just keep it on the countertop and bake using a toaster oven, because I don't bake that often. And then cook using an induction surface. At least that's the plan. Because if I do it like that, it's something I can do, you know. Whereas if I have to get an oven and have the gas turned on and make sure it's all working, it might not work because nothing in that house was working. And then the other thing is, if I have to wire 240 volts, that means getting an electrician, and you know, it starts to get expensive and get involved. So I'm like, I'll just keep it simple. Just try to get some cabinets and stuff so that I can finish off the kitchen. Get the floor laid down, you know, get the walls painted, the ceiling painted, and the house is habitable. I mean, mostly done, you know. And fixing the outside and other little fixes, trim and things like that. But it'll be nice to have the house mostly done so I can actually come in and sit and cook in a clean environment instead of cooking. You've seen what it looked like when I was cooking there. It was a mess. So that's what's going on with the house. I hope you guys are doing well wherever you are. If you're up north, I feel for you guys. I hope that the heat wave from Florida starts to travel up north for you guys. It is currently 80 right now where I am. So the temperature kind of goes up and down depending on where you are on the drive. Now it's at 79, so it's getting colder. I don't know if it was hot because I was driving. I don't know why it was hot, but now it's at 79. Maybe because I'm surrounded by trees here. But yeah, I was hearing how cold it was up north. People were getting all sorts of snow, and the storm. Remember the other day when I was talking about how windy it was? It was actually in the 60s here. I thought it was in the 70s, but it was like in the 60s. But I heard that storm was causing so much havoc up north along the eastern seaboard. You know, it was snowing and roads were closed and people had no power, and it was really bad. I guess it's equivalent of you guys getting hit by a hurricane, you know. But as far as on the Florida side, we didn't have a hurricane or anything. We just had really strong gusty breezes. Today has been like nice. It's almost like summer, you know. So it's really nice outside. So, like I said, I hope that the warm weather goes up north. I was just watching some of the news, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's hard to believe that going on up north when we're here in Florida, walking around, you know, in like 70 degrees, 80 degrees. It's just crazy. I don't know how. If any of you in California, let me know what's going on in California right now. I wonder if California's cold. I am going to go ahead and sign out. Wanted to just give you guys an update. If you want to see all that PT stuff that they gave me from the VA, you know, I'll show you in the cream and stuff. And you can kind of track what happens. If you're diabetic, follow, yeah, I'm not at a doctor or anything like that, but if you follow the diet I went on, which was just pretty much eating lots of salad and picking out like once or twice, once a week, once every week or every other week, you can pick out and eat whatever. Seems to have worked, at least for me. I think the main thing was actually cutting out soda. Not that I don't have any soda at all, because I still occasionally will get a Slurpee because I love the Slurpees, but I get it maybe once a month or less, and then ice cream about once or twice a month or less. I don't really miss it too much, but every once in a while I have a craving and I just go ahead and get it. I don't worry about the calorie count, diabetes, and all. I don't really worry about it, but I don't do it all the time. And I think the biggest thing that will drop your count, your A1C, really, is stop drinking so much soda. Soda's bad for you. And that's the one thing I don't really miss at all, I mean, I do drink soda when I go out somewhere, and, my choice is, when I go out to eat, I'll order water. But sometimes when I go to a fast food place to eat, I don't really like their water, so I'll usually get a soda, usually a Sprite, sometimes a Coke, but usually a Sprite or 7-Up. But yeah, it was nice to see that my A1C was down to normal. I'm just hoping that once I lose another 10 pounds, everything will be good, and my feet will be okay, and then I won't feel like an old man anymore. Until next time, everyone, I hope you're all doing good. Take care. God bless you all. Please stay safe. Bye-bye now.